Marketplace is supported by Putnam Investments, recognizing the value of financial advice since 1937. Putnam Investments, a world of investing. Produced in association with the University of Southern California.
It's always nice to take a little time away, so we did. A special report from the Aspen Ideas Festival on the broadcast today. Also, will somebody please make up their minds about what the economy is going to do? From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by the new Harvard Business Review. The July-August issue is on newsstands now, featuring an in-depth interview with Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. And by Progressive Insurance, with more than 30,000 local independent agents. Information available at progressive.com.
From the Aspen Ideas Festival in Aspen, Colorado, I'm Kai Ryssdal. Good to have you with us on this Thursday, everybody. It is the 8th of July today. And you'll notice I've abandoned the friendly confines of the Frank Stanton Studios for a couple of days up in the mountains. The Aspen Ideas Festival is exactly that, a place and a chance to talk about some of the big ideas of the day. Sometimes those big ideas are on the serious side, like this one from economic historian Neil Ferguson just the other day.
The financial crisis that began in the summer of 2007, that has accelerated a fundamental shift in the economic balance of power.
Sometimes they are ideas about innovations, economic or otherwise, like a little thing you might have heard of called Twitter and co-founder Biz Stone.
The open exchange of information can and will have a positive impact, not just on that local level, but globally, and that people are basically good, and if you give them a tool to do good, they will.
As it happens, we're going to have more with Biz Stone and his Twitter co-founder Evan Williams a bit later in the broadcast. But the actual news of this Thursday begins with, drumroll please, yes, the economy, both ends of it, as consumers keep on trying to figure out how they feel about things, a topic we will get to in a minute. Policymakers in Washington are trying to do the same thing, keep on giving the economy a kick in the pants or pull back and get the deficit under control. And when I say policymakers here, by the way, what I'm really talking about is the Federal Reserve. Our Washington Bureau Chief John Dimsdale has the story.
The Fed dropped interest rates on short-term bank loans to virtually zero nearly 2 years ago, and they've kept rates there ever since. After each meeting, Fed members promised their loose monetary policy will remain for the foreseeable future. But with the economy sputtering again, some wonder whether banks and businesses need assurances that those favorable interest rates will be around for years. Former Fed Governor Lawrence Meyer says the Fed could use more specific language.
They'd have to do something that they have said they would never do, and that is to make an unconditional promise not to tighten for a very long time. No central bank wants to do that.
Because it would tie the Fed's hands if the economy suddenly took off and generated too much inflation. Another idea would be to inject more money into the banking system. The Fed could encourage bank lending by buying more treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. That's what the Fed did during the depths of the credit crisis. But former regional Fed Vice Chairman Gerald O'Driscoll says that didn't stimulate much lending.
It has given the banks a no-lose, no-risk, almost no-risk play, which is to borrow at near-zero interest rates and buy 10-year treasuries.
Which means banks have no incentive to lend that money to consumers. Both O'Driscoll and Meyer say the central bank can't do much about what's ailing the economy right now. For example, what can the Fed do about potential credit defaults in Europe? So for now, both Fed members expect the central bank to sit tight. In Washington, I'm John Dimsdale for Marketplace.
You work your way down the economy from the Fed, and you get many, many layers down to you and me. And what exactly we are going to do when the economy does eventually come back. Will we be frugal and responsible and forever changed, or just itching to start living beyond our means again? Here's Jeff Horwich.
Okay, this is your brain 3 years ago. Maybe one of those Visa commercials where everyone's dancing around swiping credit cards. Good times. And this is your brain on recession.
There's got to be more ways to save. I really want a cup of coffee, but I can't justify stopping and getting a cup of coffee.
That's actually Leah Ingram's brain. She started the blog Suddenly Frugal after selling her house to get out of debt.
What I'm hoping is that this whole experience of conscious frugalness makes me a smarter financial person in the long run.
There are hints the recession